Hi there folks, this is Leon Faulkner, Senior Coach at the Northern Beaches Golf Academy. Thanks for watching. I have my most recent lesson tutorial here that I'd like to share with you, and another what I like to call big change lessons, where in a short amount of time we're able to make big change and create a lot more consistency straight away, a lot better ball striking, but it really came down to the student's ability to be able to allow that change and to not be afraid when things feel strange. Of course they're going to feel strange. If you're used to doing it your way and your way's inconsistent, we start to make some changes, they're going to feel different. But it's embracing that change in feeling and not being afraid of it and just allowing it to happen. So let's have a look here at the before view. The main, I suppose, subject that we really talked about during that half an hour period was his setup position to be able to form a better foundation for his golf swing. And if we take a look at the stance, first of all, we can see he's got quite a wide stance there, considering we've only got 7 on. He may not even quite go that wide with his driver, so that was definitely too wide for his 7 on. Ball position too far forward, you can see that's too close to his left foot, so that ball position needs to be back in the centre. And you glance across the right side, you'll see that we've moved that ball position back into the centre of his stance. And I've placed a shaft down there in between his feet, which is a really great little exercise to make sure you're doing when you're practicing. Just leave, say your 4 iron or your 5 iron down on the ground, and always make sure you're lining the ball up with the grip. Keep that shaft in the centre of your stance and give it a couple of weeks of practice, and you'll become a lot more comfortable having that ball position where it needs to be. To him at the moment it really feels like it's off his back foot, but of course in reality it's nowhere near it. Because that ball position was too far forward, the club was not able to sit the way it's designed in its strongest position. And when you glance across and you look at that right hand side view there, the after view, you can see that there's forward lean with the shaft. And so what you noticed when you look at a lot of good ball strikers and a lot of good players is this really nice straight line all the way down from his left shoulder down to the club head. He's now got that now because we were able to move the ball position back to where it needs to be and fixed up that foundation. Now we've got the club sitting the way it's designed. If you want to learn a little more about how the golf club is designed, check out one of my tutorials called A Partnership Relationship, and I go more in depth in talking about how the golf club is actually designed. So really the big factor out of this lesson was fixing up the foundation, getting his setup a lot stronger, so then he's able to then build a better golf swing from there. Let's take a look at the backswing, and the position he was in at the top of his backswing in the before view. We'll take him up to the top here, so we can see that he's got that left foot coming off the ground, where in his instance is not necessary. Some of my more senior students, I may allow that left foot to come off the ground just because there's a restriction with the range of motion and flexibility, so just to allow a little bit more turn, we'll bring that left foot up off the ground. But in his instance, he's too young, he's already flexible enough, he doesn't need this. We really want to create more torque, and we'll get that by keeping that left foot flat on the ground. Because his ball position is so far forward, his lower body was kind of laterally sliding to the right, and then his shoulders were not really completing the right turn, and he was really trying to stay on the ball as much as he could, and the ball's already in the wrong position as it is. So you have a look at his spine angle there, and his spine angle is very upright. I'll highlight that there. You can see it's quite upright, whereas what we needed is more on sort of an angle like that, which is where you'll see a lot of better players. So to get that, he's obviously going to have to keep his left foot flat on the ground. He's going to have to, really keep his lower body quite still. You can still allow a turn, but there can't be any sort of lateral sliding, to the right. Otherwise, the shoulders, they just don't know where to go, and you'll end up just, turning on the spot and almost looking like what we call a reverse pivot position at the top. Let's take a look at the after view now, and we'll take him up to the top of the backswing and see how it's changed. If you look at the pictures in the board in the background, you'll see that he's on the right hand side, he's still in position, and the pictures in the background are still exposed. We can still see. You look at the left hand side view, the before view, and his right hip is slid to the right, and you can see that he's covering that picture in the background. So this now position on the right hand side is a lot stronger. He's made much better turn with his left shoulder coming across. I did tell him to allow his head to move. A lot of golfers are so strict on keeping their head still. The playing partners are telling him, oh, you lift your head, you lift your head. You have to be willing to make that move and make that turn and allow your head to move. It's not always about trying to keep your head still. One of the major reasons why people do lift their head on the downswing and top the ball is because they haven't completed their turn on the backswing. So if you find that you're someone that's always trying to work on keeping your head still and you think your head's always lifting, work on your turn. Allow your head to move a little bit to the side so you're back and loaded, and then as you transfer your weight through the ball, you're not going to have any need to lift your head up because you're completing your turn a lot better and you're creating a lot more room just because you're turning better. So this position now on the right hand side, we can see that he's got a bit of angle there with his spine, much better position, his lower body's stable, both feet flat on the ground, in a much better position now for him to really launch forward and turn well through impact. So we'll just play both visions now. So as you can see, it's an impressive golf swing. You know, he's come from that baseball background, so he's quite used to using his body a lot on that downswing. We'll pause him at the top of the swing. Coming down, you see that left hand side, he's starting to pull up a little bit out of it, and that club head's starting to leak out in front of his hands, which gets back to talking about making sure the hands are leading at impact. If we've got it the address position, we'll have every chance of having it. Now you can see in that right hand view as he's coming through, you can see his hands are more leading, more in front of the club head. But we're still going to do a bit of work on just getting him through the ball. He's just not quite used to knowing what to do. Obviously now he's in a different position at the top of his backswing, so we now need to sort of train him and getting through the ball a little better, but he's definitely got a lot more forward angle there at impact through and then around. So this is another example of, you know, just being willing to make that change. And as I said before, he feels like his ball position's off his back foot, but it's only in the centre of the stance where it needs to be. But the foundation, making sure that the club's sitting the way it's designed, his hands are leading, ball position's correct. You can see the difference there. Now he's able to form a much more consistent, more powerful golf swing. Hope this helps you to understand a little bit more about the key elements that we want to make sure that we create at the setup position. If we've got them, then we're going to be able to create a good golf swing. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching.